If you follow military time, 2202 is 222. So Ashe. I always go live Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. My name is TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia, enlightening every day. This page is called TMZ2 because my very first TikTok page back in just 2022 that I had 19,000 followers on got deleted. That was 2022. That got banned. That was TMZ, the original TMZ page, and now I had to create this one. Then I made my business page. Then I made a page with just a new name of mine on there. The business page got shut down. This is literally my 7th page, y'all. So I make pages and build them up really quickly. This one has 1,300 followers for a backup page. I haven't used them in a year, so I'm going live on here. Long story short, if you need help with your page, shout out, DM me. I got you. I also have another backup page, Get a Life 999. My business is Get a Life Astrology. Get a Life stands for growing into divine adults and loving yourself forever. So my second backup page is Get a Life, GIDALYFE 999, which is where I'm putting a lot of content on too. So my page, my original page that I just had to use these 2 backups for, that just was banned temporarily, it'll come back, is Z Goddess 999, ZEEGODDESS 999. I will let you know on both of these pages when that page is back up. I was doing lives over there, so we're gonna keep them popping over here. Thank you for joining. As you come in, please tap the screen like so and let me know that you're here, and please follow me. I have my website on the top of the I'm sorry, not the top. I have my website in the caption. That's what I'm trying to say. Mercury Retrograde, y'all. We're talking about it. Mercury Retrograde. And I'm talking about Mercury Retrograde, so I guess I'm gonna be tongue-tied through a lot, so work with me. Thanks for joining. As you come in, please tap the screen for likes. So I left off on Wednesday because I just was banned on my main page on Wednesday. I was banned on Tuesday. So Tuesday's Mars Day. Why am I using the regular days? It is Venus Day. I go live on Venus Day usually for your pleasure. So any questions you have, Wednesday is retrograde day, so I discussed retrogrades, and I was discussing where Mercury retrograde is on your chart in the houses. So where you have Virgo in your chart is where Mercury retrograde is happening and transiting right now. Thank you for joining. Please tap the screen. All right, so I did Aries to Libra. So I did all the first 7 signs, 5 more to go. I'm gonna wrap this up because I put this live on my YouTube channel, and I go I'm using these all for my YouTube channel, long story short. Also building classes for this business, also building an ebook so you can know astrology more if you're a beginner, things like that. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and as you come in, please drop your rising sign. Again, if you need to know how to get your rising sign, I have a free calculator, astrological calculator, to build your birth chart. You look for ASC, which is another word for ascendant. It is another word for rising sign. All right, so we have Scorpio risings. So again, rising signs, I put them all on here to say where Virgo is. So Scorpio you would start in the first house. You start all the rising signs in the first house. So Scorpio risings would have Virgo 2 signs back. Their 12th house will be Libra. Their 11th house is where they would have Virgo. So Scorpio risings have Virgo in the 11th house. The 11th house is groups, friends, social awareness. This is where I had Leo, because I'm a Libra rising. Humanitarianism, technology, hopes, and wishes for the future, which is funny because the technology has a lot to do with all the air signs. That 11th house is the Aquarius house. And because I had Venus in I'm sorry, because I had Venus retrograde, because there's a lot of planets in retrograde right now, y'all. Because I had Venus in retrograde in the 11th house, because that's my Leo house, and Venus is in retrograde in Leo till September 3rd. I was building up my social websites. I was building up my clientele, my groups, my friends on the new page, and then the technology went wonky when Mercury retrograde began. The day before Mercury retrograde began, but the shadows just as interesting. This is not going to be a tough Mercury retrograde though. And since I don't have anybody putting any rising signs in, I'm going to continue talking about this and put this on my page. But nonetheless, also want to tap in a little bit with talking about Mercury retrograde a little bit deeper, because I didn't get to on Wednesday. But Scorpio risings for Mercury retrograde, you'll have, it can affect your career and personal matters, okay? And I'll explain more when I talk about Mercury retrograde, but again, I'm finishing off what I left off on Wednesday. It's important to review contracts and agreements carefully and avoid making major career decisions during this time. Take time to reflect on your professional goals and consider new opportunities. So, all of these rising signs are going to have something to deal with Mercury. Mercury deals with information. Virgo deals with work. We're talking about your Virgo house for your rising sign. So again, Scorpio risings are planning on working on building up their social awareness, or meaningful work with technology, using technology more, hopes and wishes for the future, taking time to see the detail in the groups that you're joining and the friends you're working with. All right, let's see. Sagittarius risings. Let me see. I wish I could have went. There's a whole lot of traffic, and I'm getting notifications from the other page because I put something controversial up there about Virgo season, which is, and I'll probably put it up on YouTube too. Virgo has to do with health, mentally and physically. And as we all know, the seasons change with the mutable signs. The mutable signs are Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini. So the seasons change from summer to fall for Virgo, fall to winter with Sagittarius, winter to spring with Gemini, and spring to summer with Virgo. No. What did I leave out, y'all? Which one? Oh, Pisces. I'm sorry. So winter to spring with Pisces, and then spring to summer with Gemini. Excuse me. All right. So Sagittarius risings, you have Mercury retrograde in the 10th house, the house of career. So you are doing all things Virgo and Mercury, because Mercury is in your 10th house in Virgo in retrograde for Sagittarius risings. So you're working on and detailing and checking out and getting to the healthy parts of your career, your long-term goals. The 10th house also is about your reputation and your public image. Men in your life, fathers, masculinity, and fame, or your reputation, like I said. That is Sagittarius risings. For Sagittarius risings, you may experience travel and communication delays, because Sagittarius has to deal with travel and Mercury has to deal with communication. Expect delays for everyone. I don't know if you all noticed, but the traffic is picking up in the inner cities. Offices with lots of employers are having communication problems, computer problems, phone problems, copier problems, fax problems, those kind of things. So Sagittarius risings, you also it's important to pay attention and be flexible with your plans, and patience. Fire signs, be patient. Use this period to explore new ideas and perspectives and avoid making any rash decisions. Because fire signs are very motivational, inspirational, but a little aggressive. And Virgos it's an earth sign, so it gets you more grounded and paying attention to detail. Paying attention to little things. Capricorn risings have Virgo in the 9th house. Okay, so I put Capricorn on the first house. The ninth house is where you have Virgo. Before we talk about the ninth house, Capricorn risings, you can expect Mercury retrograde to affect you financially, of course. Earth signs are all about the money and material things and investments, and money matters for Capricorn risings. It's important to review financial statements and contracts carefully and avoid making major purchases. Capricorns are tight about their money anyway. And investments at this time. Use this period to review your financial goals and consider new strategies. Capricorn risings, you have to pay attention to the detail, organize, check if it's healthy physically or mentally with your travel plans. Wisdom, so Capricorn risings have Virgo in the ninth house. That's the Sagittarius house. And we just talked about Sagittarius risings having Virgo in the Capricorn house, the 10th house. So paying attention to the religions and your limited beliefs, your beliefs altogether, your wisdom. Pay attention to the details and the way you learn and your learning ethics and the higher education that you go to, like trade schools or schools in general, colleges, and your ethics. All right, we are almost done, y'all. We are at Aquarius, the last two signs, Aquarius and Pisces. So Aquarius risings have Virgo in the 8th house. Aquarius risings during Mercury retrograde, you should be mindful of your communication because Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini are all the air signs. Gemini is the other sign that Mercury rules. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Aquarius should be mindful of their communication with others. Misunderstandings and conflicts are possible. Aquarius is a fixed air sign, so it's like air that just will not blow around. It'll stay in that one place like a tornado. That's what fixed air is. So it's essential to communicate clearly and listen carefully. Use this period to review your goals and plans and consider new perspectives, because Aquarius is about being unique anyway and innovative. So if you pay attention and listen carefully, it might create some new projects, some futuristic projects, some projects especially with technology. For Friday night, y'all are mighty quiet. Maybe I'll stop after this and come back on fresh. All right, Pisces risings. You are the last ones. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read the 8th house. So Aquarius has Virgo in the 8th house. You are paying attention to detail. 8th house is the Scorpio house. You're paying attention to details with sex, intimacy, shared finances, inheritances, merging, taxes, loans, assets, joint ventures and joint property, goals, mysteries, and partners' resources. The opposite of Scorpio, and I have a Scorpio sign, is Taurus. Scorpio is the money in the bank because other people have money in the bank, and Taurus is money in the pocket because Taurus is about that money for self. Scorpio's another relationship partnership sign, so it's about other people's money and Scorpio's money. So Scorpios, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the 8th house, not Scorpios. I'm talking about Aquariuses. When you're considering new ventures and paying attention to the details and new perspectives and new unique projects, I would also pay attention to the 8th house energy, especially finances that you share with others. Because if you have an innovative idea and you are in a partnership with someone, you definitely want to pay attention to the details and know what your partner knows and your partner and vice versa. Pisces risings, and last up, Pisces risings have Virgo in the 7th house. So for Pisces, Mercury retrograde can affect you all spiritual and emotionally, your spiritual and emotional well-being. It is important to prioritize self-care and avoid overextending yourself during this time. Use this period to connect with your intuition and explore new spiritual practices. Why is Pisces in the 7th house? There are 12 houses. The opposite from the 1st house, 6 houses over, is the 7th house. The opposite of Virgo is Pisces. The opposite of organization and planning is chaos and a mess. So again, for Pisces risings that have Virgo in the 7th house, you are paying attention to relationships. That's the Libra house. Marriage, contracts, businesses. So 7th and 8th house are both relationship houses. One is more in-depth relationships, in-depth partnerships that you have to really pay attention to. But on the surface relationships, new relationships like new co-workers, new people, newlyweds, marriages, new contracts. You are first prioritizing yourself, because if you're not good in the relationship, no one will be. Thank you for joining. Tap like for me, please. Use this period again to explore new spiritual practices, because maybe if you explore spiritual practices and tap into something, you will have to have a partner or a relationship with someone who is similar mindsets. All right, Pisces risings was our last one. Oh, Pisces, I did talk about the 7th house. Yes, relationships, marriages, contracts, businesses, and partnerships. Sharing and equality. Thank you for the likes. Hey Jen. Yes, I'm about to get off though, because it's dry on here. I'm still trying to build this page, but I got that other one. You already know, because you're on both of my pages. One is jumping right now, and this one is dry. So I have somebody named B. I like that little silly face with your name there. So I was just wrapping up what I didn't get to finish on Wednesday. And I'm going to go back to building that page, because I literally just got about 100 new followers on that page. So once I get that page up to 1,000, I'm going to go live on here. But I still plan to get the original page back. But thank y'all for joining. If you do have any questions really quick before I go, let me know. Do y'all know your rising sign? If you don't, Get a Life Astrology is my website. GIDALYFE astrology.com. Yes, and everybody loves my nails, by the way, Jen. My new nail tech is in there, and y'all love my duck nails. So I'm going to go over to that page. I'm going to lay low, because I have not getting any sleep this week, and I got readings to do this weekend. So thank y'all for being here. Again, I am TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia, enlightening every day. My other page is Get a Life Astrology. I'm going to be especially doing a lot on both of these pages all weekend. But yes, I had to go live on here, wrap this up, put it on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is also called Get a Life Astrology. So thank y'all for coming through. The playback will be on in the morning on YouTube, and I will be back on Sunday. Please drop any DMs if you need any help with followings as well as astrology. Please drop any DMs if you have specific questions, because you're going through something with all these retrogrades. Venus, Pluto, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, and then Jupiter. I'm sorry, Uranus next week. Uranus, I keep saying Uranus. Uranus next week. What? On the 28th. And Jupiter on the September 3rd, the same day the Venus comes back out, but it'll still be 7 planets, y'all, in retrograde season. So please let me know how retrograde season is going for you. Peace, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. Rest of your Venus day. My Virgo rising child wants to say hello. We are working on, and I was going to talk a little bit more about this, but I don't have that many people here. I've literally been talking to myself for like 20 minutes. So I appreciate the 2 people that's on now. But one thing about Virgo and this child right here is that doing Mercury retrograde, because it has to do with communication and knowledge and information, and her being a Virgo and this being Virgo season, even though she's a Cancer sun, she's a Virgo rising, so it's still her season. She can tap into these energies of planning and organizing and being detailed, because she has books to put out. And what are we doing? We're putting those books out. And my ebook comes out on 9/6. So stay tuned for that too, because I'm going to get organized too. Aw. Jen said cute self. All right, Jen and everybody that did slide through, I appreciate y'all, and I will talk with y'all on Sunday. Stay tuned for the videos that will be coming up this weekend. Let's get it popping. Peace.